Hey y'all, I'm back again, y'all. Um, I realized that I really didn't give you, looking at the other video, a proper, um, proper information about paleo. Um, Now, if you're in the paleo community, you could be standing next to three paleos that all three of them eat something that the other person will dare not to, or will just won't. So I just there are books that there are many paleo books, and some paleos accept one thing and some don't. But Dr. Lauren Cordain is the guy who started the paleo diet, I believe, to my knowledge. And I'm trying to look down here because I have the book, and it's on my phone, so I can't. It's not like I can really show you with the cover, but Kindle has it, and he has a cookbook as well too. Many cookbooks. He has a lot of books actually, regarding paleo diet. Oh, I thought I wasn't gonna have to yawn because it's morning. I guess every time I get on here. Okay, so he does have a book regarding paleo. Now, my 30-day challenge, I initially said that I was going to follow Lauren Cordain's book of paleo, but I added a few things just because it's just not how I get down. I want to be able to complete this challenge. So I'm just going to read you the 7 keys of the paleo diet. This is on his book, okay? One, eat a relatively high, sorry, let me just fix myself a little bit in the chair. Eat a relatively high amount of animal protein to that of a typical compared to that of a typical American diet. So I eat a good amount of protein. I roughly, how to say, do the from the palm of your hand. I have a pretty big palm, so I get a lot. I get a lot of meat. Um, I roughly do around my palm. One thing I've noticed, you really can't overeat in paleo diet because protein makes you full. You really don't want to go above and beyond. Versus carbohydrates like wheat and stuff like that, you want to eat that big plate of pasta and rice because it's just, you know, you just want to continue eating. Um, Two, eat fewer carbohydrates than most moderate diets recommended, but eat lots of good carbohydrates from fruits and vegetables, not from grains, starchy tubers, and refined sugars. Now, here it mentions starchy tubers. After 30 days, I still will be trying to do the paleo diet. I will add some starchy tubers. Lauren Cordain's first book initially stated no starchy tubers, right? But he has since added. He's revised his book. I don't know. I don't think it's been revised again. I honestly skimmed through the book. I didn't reread it, so it could be some new revisions. I don't know. But initially he said no starchy tubers. Now he has added sweet potatoes and excuse me, and I believe yuca. So that's the only two things that I'm eating now. When after 30 days, I think I'm gonna add like plantains. I mean, who knows? I might add plantains in the 30 days, but after 30 days, I'm definitely gonna be adding like plantains. Sweet potato, regular potato is definitely still a no-no to him. But I think from here and there, I might add some potatoes here and there. I'm not afraid to incorporate some potatoes in my diet. I'm reading this girl's Instagram thing, and she said 90% paleo, 10% clean, and I get that because the 10%, that's where you eat clean, like you eat, potatoes, things from the Mother Earth, not things processed and fried, dyed, and laid to the side. You know what I mean, like hair. So number three is eat a large amount of fiber from non-starchy fruits and vegetables. So the good thing about paleo, you can eat a plethora of protein. Dr. Lauren Cordain stresses lean meats, but I do eat some meats that aren't lean. I eat like nothing lower than like 80 or 85, nothing really lower than 85 because I feel like there's enough fat for me. But I will eat something that is less than 85 if I so happen to want to eat it. It's protein. I'm going to eat it. I get my protein and I get my fat. I don't need to add no more fat, right? Um, but his diet and most diets in the paleo diet do stress lean meat. So I encourage people to eat lean meat. But here he says non-starchy vegetables. So and fruits. I encourage fruits and vegetables. That's one thing I love about this diet. You could eat plethora amount of fruits. Whew, pardon me. Fruits and vegetables in this diet. However, if you try to lose weight, limit your fruits. Especially if you have issues with insulin, just limit your fruit because fruit has um, fructose in it, right? It has fructose in some fruits. Fruit, some fruit has a lot of sugar, a lot of sweetness, sweetener, sugar in it. Fructose, I believe, inside some of the things. So limit it just if you're trying to do weight loss, but um, you could still have it. I eat it, and I'm losing weight. The other thing he said, number 4, eat moderate amounts of fat with um, with more Eat moderate amounts of fat with more good fats than bad. He mentions good fats as mono and polysaturated fats and bad fats as trans and saturated fats, and nearly equal amounts of omega 3 and 6s. A lot of people are talking about, oh, we need a lot of omega 3s, need a lot of omega 3s, and that's true. We do need a lot of omega 3s, and a lot of us take vitamins to get the omega 3s, but people forget about omega 6s. Whew, excuse me. Well, people forget about omega 6s, so try to incorporate. I believe walnuts have a good amount of omega 6s and 3s. I'm not really sure about that, but I believe walnuts are a good source of omega 6s. I could be wrong. Google, Google me. Um, 5, eat foods with high potassium content and low sodium content. Now, this is where I swayed a little bit. I do eat my bananas, which has potassium and also does have low sodium. However, he suggests sodium as salt as being toxic. I see where you're going, but I like seasoned food. My family's from the Caribbean. We're Haitian. We like diesel. I mean, it is what it is. But I don't purchase regular salt. I do only when we do have regular salt in the house. I use it to brine my meat or clean my meat as Haitians would do with the salt. However, when it comes to cooking, like cooking my food, I use sea salt and I use Maggi or bouillon cube, as they would call it. I use those two seasonings as my form of salt, and sometimes I use base salt, base seasoning. Sometimes I use that, which also has salt, but I don't really use that much. If I don't have black pepper, that's what I use, and but I really don't, because I don't really care for too much salt. I don't like salty food, but salt brings out flavor, and it is what it is. Sorry, Lauren. I'm using my salt. So that's one thing. You have to do what works for you, and what your body. If you are a person that salt is just not something you do, maybe you should cut back to nothing. I mean it, but I'm I'm, I'm eating it. Uh, number 6, eat a diet with a net alkaline load. 7, eat foods rich in plant photochemical blah blah blah. I don't know how to. What is it? Oh, photochemicals and okay, and vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Definitely get the rainbow when it comes to your vegetable. Get the rainbow. Get the rainbow. What's this? Okay, so those are the 7. Um, that you will need. And basically, so paleo basically is protein. They prefer lean protein. Um, protein. Eggs. So that's eggs and stuff like that. No dairy, no grain, no starchy, not excessive amount of starchy vegetables, even though I eat starchy vegetables. Squash, believe it or not, is a starchy vegetable, okay? So I'm gonna eat squash and I'm gonna eat potatoes and I'm gonna sweet, but I don't eat them as much as I would eat like broccoli or kale. I kill those. Sweet potato, patat as we would call it. It's different between sweet potatoes. A Caribbean potato. It's extremely sweet and it's bomb.com. Um, Maybe I'll try to get a recipe to show you how to do that. Um, Yuca, as we eat in Korea, plantains, sweet plantains, all that. Limit those. Limit it. But I personally think it's okay to incorporate because they're just yeah, they're from the earth. Um, but in Lauren Cordain's, limit the starch, limit the salt intake. So no dairy, no grains, no legumes, no peas, no beans, no corn, no peanuts, just no peanuts, no soy. And that's basically it. Most oils, he doesn't really accept most oils. So the only oils that I currently cook with are coconut oil and olive oil, and I like that. I don't really need to cook with vegetable oil on that. I don't really need to. Even before I went like straight up paleo, I put olive oil in my brownie mixes or something. It still came out really good, and no one noticed. Um, so I would just say play with the foods, but those are the guidelines. You can find numerous videos here on YouTube, going more into detail with paleo, and go online and just put in Google, what is paleo and what are the restrictions, what can I eat, and it depends on the person. Some paleo still eat green peas, and that is acceptable in the paleo diet. Some people say potatoes are definitely acceptable, and other tuber vegetables are acceptable. So, I mean, the things that I think most people need to steer clear from, at least for the next 30 days, is the dairy. Even though I butter is okay depending on some people. The dairy, the the grains, like seriously, stay away from the grains for the next 30 days. Um, and the legumes. And no processed food. No diet promotes processed food and sugar. So that's just like, come on, don't even think about it. But yeah, so I hope this explains some things. I'm sorry it's a bit long, but I just want to be a little bit more clear on what I was doing and the direction of my 30-day challenge. So I hope this helps someone. Stay blessed. Love you all. Bye.